I'm Sandra Sanzito. I'm the Senior Director of Higher Education Product Marketing at the Salesforce.com Foundation. I just want to welcome you to today's webinar about mobilizing recruiting and admissions. Before we get started, I just wanted to take you through our safe harbor statement. So what that tells you, if you want to read it, you can watch it on our website. You can read it on our website. It just basically tells you that Salesforce.com is a publicly traded company, and so any decisions you make around purchasing software should be made on products that are available today, in case we talk about anything in the future. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Salesforce.com Foundation, we're the nonprofit arm of Salesforce.com. And out of this slide, what I really like, what stands out most for me is Salesforce.com has been named the most innovative company in the world by Forbes 3 years in a row. And aside from having the most innovative and comprehensive technology, we've really led the way in terms of innovative corporate philanthropy. And so here at the Foundation, we are dedicated to helping not-for-profit higher education institutions as well as NGOs connect to the students in a whole new way by leveraging the most innovative technology, which is Salesforce. So we achieve our mission in 3 ways. So first and foremost, we remove the financial obstacles to using the best-in-class software by offering our solutions at deeply discounted prices to eligible nonprofit colleges and universities. Then what we do is we reinvest the proceeds from our sales into our technology, our partners, and our programs to support our grant strategy to support healthy communities across the globe by investing in education and jobs. And then finally, every Salesforce.com employee can dedicate 1% of their time to volunteering. That comes out to 6 paid volunteer days a year. They can invest and support the communities and areas that they're passionate about. So to date, as you can see on the screen, the Salesforce.com Foundation has helped over 22,000 nonprofit organizations use Salesforce. We've given away over $65 million in grants, and we've given 620,000 hours of service to communities around the world. But I truly believe that our greatest impact is with our technology. So as we talked about before, the ability to take the most innovative CRM technology and platform and put that into the hands of higher institutions to really help you guys advance your mission, it really has the most impact. And what we've been trying to do at the Foundation is really help you become a connected campus. And what we mean by that is really putting your students at the core and better connecting with all of your constituents across the entire life cycle on all devices using cloud, mobile, and social technologies. So as you can see from the slide, we covered different areas. We talked about, we can help you in areas of recruitment, student success and retention, advancement, communications, and community engagement. And today we're going to focus on recruiting. And more importantly, we're going to focus on how you mobilize your recruiting and admissions department. And part of the importance around that is, there is really, if you think back to even 10 years ago, the mobile and social world has really exploded. There are 4.5 billion conversations, so 4.5 billion people using social networks. There are 5 billion smartphones projected to be out in the world by 2017. And there's about 50 billion connected products happening. So when you think about connected products, and I always kind of laugh at this, and your toothbrush connected to the internet. But what it's showing is that that's the world in which we're moving to, where even things like normal everyday products that we use are becoming connected, which really underscores the need for sort of understanding that this type of technology is here to stay, it's pervasive, and our constituents expect us to be serving them on these mobile and social platforms. And you can see that a lot in higher ed today. Faculty and staff as well as students are demanding mobile apps. People are connected at all times. They don't want to have to be at a laptop to do their jobs or to do their courseware. And even if you look at the connected products, well, this example has, like I said, it's almost there for exaggeration of how things are becoming connected. But in the higher ed space, you've got connected products as well. You've got smart boards, you've got all kinds of video lecture captures, all kinds of things that are connecting you to the world in that way. And so today, I'm joined by 2 presenters. I'm joined by Jonathan Larrick, who is the director of the MBA program at MIT Sloan School of Management, and Angel Navedo, who is the director of Matchbox products at TargetX. And they're here to talk to you about how MIT has mobilized their recruiting and admissions department. So let's give you a little bit of information about our presenters. Jonathan Lyric is the director of the MIT Executive MBA program. He leads all aspects of the program and works closely with faculty, staff, students, and external companies and organizations to deliver this world-class mid-career executive format MBA. From 2005 to 2010, he served as the Associate Director of the MIT Leadership Center and led special projects for the Dean's Office at the MIT Sloan School of Management. And prior to joining MIT, he worked as the Executive Director of Operations for the corporate education firm Linkage, Inc. And Angel is the Director of the Matchbox products at TargetX. And Matchbox is a mobile application, which actually we'll be demoing in this presentation, that allows you to mobilize your admissions process through a mobile app. And he works for TargetX, who's one of our partners, specializes in recruiting and admissions area. Prior to joining TargetX, he spent 12 years in admissions at MIT Sloan School of Management. And with that, I am going to turn over to Jonathan to get started.
Thanks very much. This is Jonathan Lyric speaking, and thank you for the introduction. And I'm joined here by my colleague, Angel Navedo.
Good to be here.
Thanks everyone for taking the time. We'll attempt to use it wisely. I cannot promise you any socially connected toothbrushes, but what I can promise is we're going to have an opportunity to really share and get down into the deep and dirty on how the MIT Executive MBA does its admissions process, and specifically how we use mobile solutions to do so, and both to accelerate and to make the process more effective. So our agenda, we will take to see first the challenges and key factors. We'll then go into a process flow, and we'll give you a little bit of the secret sauce, to the extent that there is any, and then talk about the mobile solutions. Then we'll get into part two. We'll actually do the demonstration itself, and we'll see both TargetX Decision Cloud, which is the formerly Matchbox, and then we'll go through the life cycle of a candidate. Spoiler alert, it's a fictional candidate. And we'll see both the CRM and the use of Salesforce One and TargetX Decision Cloud. So but in fact, metrics, and we'll take as much time as possible for your question and answer. All of this is, of course, being recorded. We'll make sure to use the time as wisely as you can, and the slides will be available as well. So without further ado, let's do a little bit of talking about what is the MIT Executive MBA at all. This is a mid-career MBA program at Sloan. And it was founded in 2010. We had not had an executive MBA program before that. Our population, which is we admit about 120 students a year, is a global pool. Something like 7 out of 8 of our students are from the based in the United States, but another 1 out of 8 is actually resides outside the U.S. and travels in for the purposes of the program. They average 17 years of work experience, which means that these are people who are accustomed at this stage of their lives to a time when, we're just restarting our PowerPoint here, they're accustomed to really getting a sense of what is the right thing for them and talking with people, working with people who help them through the process. And that includes a process that, as you'll see, involves work of phone, the application, a good deal of deep thinking and analysis on the back end on MIT's side. It's also important to think about who the caliber of their fellow students are. There's a huge reason why people think about applying to the MIT Executive MBA. And as you'll see in a second, it's a big piece of what we are focusing on during our admissions process. That admissions process is driven primarily, indeed exclusively, by the program team. The program team, rather than a central admissions office, is responsible for selecting from our candidates. So we have nearly 400 people applying per year. And those staff, because it's solely admissions dedicated for the most part, are constantly in motion. Furthermore, we make our decisions collectively. To accept somebody, even whether to interview people, these are decisions that are made as much as possible with unity producing community. With that as backdrop, we have to think of what the challenges were for us when we were getting this process started in 2010. First off, we had no legacy systems, which isn't to say that MIT Sloan had no systems. It's just we didn't have any directly for the executive MBA. Now, you can either think of that as a bug or a feature. The opportunity here was that we didn't have anything that we were trying to derive from. We weren't starting from the point of view of saying, let's make sure FileMaker works for us too. We had an opportunity to build from scratch. And in fact, as we were launching the program, as we were even conceiving whether to do the program, we were from the beginning using Salesforce as a CRM. So we had the opportunity to use the CRM to create our admissions process rather than the other way around. It also meant, if you think about, again, who we are submitting the program, that we have very high expectations for customer service. We have expectations from ourselves because we know that our students, our candidates, expect it of us. Therefore, it's also critical to get the total class and community quality right. With a group of 120 people in the class, we don't have a lot of room for sort of outlier experiments, like maybe this will work, what's the big deal? One person out of 120 can make an enormous difference in a way that a class of 1,600 or 5,000 might not. And finally, because, again, we're mobile, we cannot be constrained by location, decision-making, or management. And so with those as backdrop challenges, let's look at what our goal is, which is not surprising, right? Managing world-class executive class. But what are the key factors? The key factors, driven by the challenges, driven by that goal, were these three.
Sorry, Sandra, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it looks like your slides might be frozen. Are we still seeing the slide about the program?
Okay. Well, let's see what we can do about that. We are on a goal and key factors slide, but let's see if we can do something to fix that. And I'll just keep talking, and I'll try to be as explicit as possible. We're looking at three key factors in admitting and managing a world-class executive class. Number one is that it be high touch. Our process in admissions mirrors what we do in the program. I actually have this philosophy. Every time I've ever applied for a job, how I'm treated in the application and interviewing process is a very good proxy for what it's going to be like